All right, on April's harvest, we are up to the 9 a.m. turn. I don't even remember where I left off on the last video. I think it may be at the end of the 7:30 turn. Grant still not here. He doesn't come on. You can see there until the 9:30 turn. But things, as you can see, more dead Union units. But things have improved a little bit in that the Union now has an actual line. They've fallen back to the Hornet's Nest. Once these guys alerted, this is the 6th Corps. There's actually some 5th Corps blended into here. These guys, or 5th Division rather, these guys had orders to defend the peach orchard. The 6th Division here, I was able to get an initiative roll, amazingly, for Prentice. So I was able to have him actually fall back to the Hornet's Nest once they became alerted and could leave their encamped state. I think they lost a brigade before that could happen, but you know, it's, as they say, wafer thin. It is not a strong line, but it is a line nonetheless. So, and the Hornet's Nest is actually a sunken road that'll give them a nice defensive bonus. So, you know, they might hold off the Confederate onslaught for maybe an hour or so. At least let Grant get on the board and offer some more concrete defensive, not defensive orders. It actually says in the errata for this not to use defensive orders in the game. Although some units actually start with defensive orders. I think for later versions, you know, again, I'm using the 3.2 series rules, which I don't know if those were ever actually released with any of the games. I think even the final releases of the Civil War Brigade series of the CWB series games were the 3.0 rules. So I think 3.2 might be something that exists only online. Regardless, I'm not actually using defensive orders. So what I end up doing is saying, you know, have a units move to the Hornet's Nest. Then once they reach there, they become bolted to the ground, and that becomes defensive. You know, they defend that area. So, and then up here with the 1st Division, which is arguably in even worse shape than, because it's already wrecked, even worse shape than the 6th Division, which at least I believe is not actually wrecked yet. Yeah. So the 1st Division is wrecked. So these guys are going to collapse pretty quickly, even faster than these guys down here. So that may be a case where, and I've tried initiative down here and haven't gotten it for these guys, even though they're all aware now. For 4th Division and 2nd Division, trying to get some orders to them to kind of come up and form the right flank here of the 6th Division, because these guys are just going to disintegrate pretty quickly. It didn't help. One of the reasons they are so wrecked is because I tried to do initiative on them and got a loose cannon. So the Confederate player, i.e. me, said, okay, why don't you guys attack towards Ray Field? And so they attacked, you know, for like one turn. I mean, because everybody ended up falling back because they're just in terrible shape. So, you know, their attack sputtered out. The Corps stoppage happened immediately the following turn. So at least that allowed them to disengage and fall back into some kind of line. So up here, these loose guys, this is Sherman and a couple of his 5th Division brigades. They're going to move down here. And he got initiative fairly early. And I gave Sherman orders to move to Cloud Field and join with the 4th Division. So that's down here. And technically, I guess, well, these guys already had orders. I'm not sure how that works. If these guys had existing orders at the beginning of the game, even though they're part of Sherman's division, Sherman is well out of command range. So since these guys already have their own orders, I believe they follow those orders until the orders are no longer valid. At which point then they will move to rejoin Sherman as quickly as possible. So I believe these guys, you know, their orders would constitute, I guess, a divisional goal or something, even though it's a single brigade. But since they started the game with those orders, they will follow those orders until they can no longer be followed anymore. So once the Peach Orchard collapses, then if they're still around, they will attempt to rejoin Sherman, who by that time will be over here in Cloud Field with the 4th Division. So there it is, a little summary of the end of the 8:30 turn, start of the 9 a.m. turn. Still early in the morning. We've got, 60 odd turns to go, so who knows how far I'll get.